Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to DIY Art Blast. So today we're gonna draw something very simple, and if you want to draw, go grab your canvas, paintbrush, watercolor paper, or you can also use a canvas if you want to, but it's very optional. You can also paint this with your kids because it's very easy, okay, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's start. So these are the brushes I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna use mostly this big flat brush, and one of these maybe will work too, something like this. Now you don't have to use the same brush I'm using. You can use like any brush you have available. Okay, now I'm painting on a 8 by 10 size of canvas here. You can paint on any size you want to. You can also paint on cardboard. Okay, all right, so here are the colors I'm gonna use. It's a little bit messier because I was working on other project, but here I'm gonna use blue, red, yellow, little bit of orange, white, and green. Just a regular green, okay, not this green. Let me grab that green. Okay, so I'm talking about this green, like a light green. Okay, but hey, you can change it up a little bit, change it up a little bit, change the colors, change the place of the tree I'm gonna add, or change the color on the background. It's up to you. This is your painting. Okay, so now go grab your paint, brushes and everything, and let's start painting. Now just ignore whatever going on my canvas here because I'm gonna paint over it. All right, so I'm gonna use my big flat brush. Now what I like to do is I'm just gonna take a little water and apply it everywhere on my canvas. It's okay if you miss some spot. You can always pause the video if you feel like I'm going too fast and talking too fast. Alright, so now if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if you enjoy watching this video, or if you like enjoy painting with me, make sure you give a big thumbs up. Okay, and if you have any question about the materials, or if you want me to paint something else next time, let me know. Okay, so here I apply a little bit of water. If you feel like you apply too much water, just grab a paper towel and just kind of wipe it. Okay, so now I think this is looking good. All right, so now I'm gonna start with the yellow color. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab a little yellow, like I'm gonna grab the whole yellow. Okay, and let's say I'm gonna apply this yellow. So I'm gonna leave like a finger size on the bottom, just maybe a finger size. Okay, and I'm just gonna apply this yellow from here, and I'm gonna cover half of my canvas. Trust the process, okay? Trust the process. Okay, so I'm not gonna clean my brush when I'm working on this background. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab a little orange, and I'm gonna cover about like again a finger size. So maybe from here, and I'm also gonna go over my yellow. Okay, so as you can see, I covered a finger size almost. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend these two colors. Now I'm not gonna clean my brush for this part. I'm just gonna start from here, from my orange, and I'm gonna bring my brush on the other way, on the other side. So starting from here, left and right, coming all the way down. I'm gonna repeat the same thing. I'm gonna start from bottom, and then I'm gonna go up like that. I'm gonna repeat this maybe a couple times, and we're gonna add like one more color here. Okay, so I think I like this. Now what I like to do is add a little bit of white. So I'm not gonna clean my brush here. I'm just gonna take a little white. Okay, and then I'm just gonna apply it on the yellow and also on my orange. Okay, now I'm just gonna do the same thing again. I'm just gonna start from my orange, going left and right. And I'm gonna repeat this maybe 2 to 3 times, or until I don't see this color nicely blended. Doesn't have to be perfectly blended because we're gonna add more colors here. Yes, we're gonna add a lot of colors here. Okay, I think this is looking pretty. Now I'm gonna add some red. So I'm not gonna clean my brush here. I'm just gonna take a little red. This red is super dark, so I'm just gonna apply it right here. And I'm gonna also add it a little bit on my orange, like this. Okay, now do you remember how we blend our orange and the yellow together? I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm not taking any more red, and I'm not taking any other color. Okay, and then I'm just gonna start from here and bring my paint brush on the other side, and slowly I'm gonna go on my orange, and this is maybe where I'm gonna stop. You can come all the way down to yellow if you like. And I'm gonna do the same thing again, bottom to up, up to bottom, but I'm just gonna keep going left and right. The more you go, it's gonna blend more, so don't be scared to keep moving your brush like this. And don't forget to go all the way to the edges. Okay, I think like that. Just gonna go one last time. Alright, so now I'm gonna add some blue top. Now if you feel like you have a lot of space on the top and you wanna add a little bit more red, you can also do that, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of blue now, and I'm gonna cover the top. Okay, and then now do you remember how we blend all these colors? I'm gonna do the same thing with the blue. I maybe want to add a little bit more blue on the top. Okay, and then I'm slowly gonna work on my red. This time I'm not gonna come all the way down to the yellow. I'm just gonna stop maybe where I have orange here. This might looks like it's getting a little muddier, but it's almost gonna turn like a purple color. Don't forget to go all the way to the top. Okay, I think maybe you want to add a little bit of red streak on the top of my blue. Okay, I think I like this. I'm just gonna stop right here. All right, now I'm gonna clean my brush. Ooh, okay. I'm pretty sure you like this part more than anything when you clean your brush first time in your water. Okay, so here I have my brush nice and clean. Now I'm gonna use my white paint, and I'm just gonna apply it on the bottom. Now I don't want to apply my paint like this. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dab. So something like this. I'm just gonna dab 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 like this. I'm also gonna touch my yellow. Okay, you just need more white for this part, and I'm just using my big brush. You can also add some glitter here if you want to. Why not? Okay, now do you see how straight this line is? I want to break that, and I'm just gonna use one side of my brush. So I'm not using my brush this way, I'm using my brush this way, and I'm just gonna go on this edges, and I can break that very easily. Maybe I want to add more snow hill on the side like that. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, so alright, so the fun part I'm gonna do is add some splatters. Okay, so I already have enough white. I'm just gonna take a little bit of water. Okay, so just a little water. I'm just gonna use my other dish, and I'm just gonna mix my, just ignore the yellow here, it's okay. So I'm just taking a little white and just maybe 4 or 5 drops of water and mix it all together. Okay, and then you can also use your old toothbrush if you want to. I'm just gonna turn my canvas this way, and I'm just gonna use my other brush. Make sure you don't have any water on that brush. Okay, and then I'm just gonna, okay, I just need more water. When you don't get any splatter, just take a little bit more water. Okay, and then like this, I'm just gonna add some splatters. Make sure you don't break your other paintbrush. You don't wanna do that. Do it very slowly. If you are getting smaller dots than what I have here, just add a little bit more water. Okay, I'm getting splatters everywhere, but not on my canvas. I think this is where I'm gonna stop. And so I also want to add some smaller what is called smaller dots. So I'm just gonna take my white paint, and I'm also using my old toothbrush, and I'm just gonna do something like this to get that smaller dot. Do you see how cool this is? This is my favorite part. How cool! I love this. I think the more is better, right? Sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here because I'm just gonna keep adding more and more here. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean my finger. Alright, and now, alright, so now we're gonna start adding some other stuff. So I'm talking about adding a nice big tree. Okay, now if you want to let your painting dry, you can also do that, so that it will be so much easier for you to apply just one color, and you don't have to layer more and more color on top. So you can also, you know, let it dry completely and come back and then do this part, but I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, so for this I'm gonna use this brush. You can also use any round brush you have available. Alright, so I'm gonna start with just a regular green here. So I'm just using this green. Okay, I'm just gonna load my brush very nicely. Now I'm gonna add a nice big trunk, maybe right here. So use your finger and see how small, how big, how tall, you know, you want your trees. Maybe I want my trees to be maybe this size, or maybe a little smaller. So start with the smaller, you can always make it bigger. Okay, and then we're gonna add a little star on the top. Okay, so again, maybe this size of the tree I want to add. So I'm just gonna add a little line coming from here to down, like that. Just make a little line just for your reference. Okay, and now if you want to practice a little bit on a piece of paper before you do it on your canvas, you can also do that. There are so many ways you can add a Christmas tree. So let me show you 2 ways. So the one way I'm gonna use is kind of a wispy type of a tree. So let's say I have this tree trunk here. So I'm just gonna start from here, and I'm gonna bring my paint down like that. Okay, and as I'm coming down, I'm just gonna make my branches longer and longer and longer. So something like this. The other type of tree you can do, but this one is the easiest one. Okay, remember that. So the second one I'm gonna add is something like this. Now again, I'm not gonna do this on this painting, but just in case if you want to. So for this part, you just have to start dabbing from the top. Now I use this technique for my all other painting. Okay, I might have to put it on my canvas, on my table. So something like this. And as I'm dabbing, I'm just gonna make my branches longer and longer. So whichever way you are comfortable with, you can do it. Okay, I'm just gonna do the easiest way today, which is this one. Okay, so let's do this. So again, load your brush, start from the top, and then bring your paint out like that. Make your branches longer and longer. Don't worry if you run out of your paint, just keep going still. Okay, now I'm just gonna go back again and repeat one more time, going over. Okay, I'm gonna make my tree a little bit more wider on the bottom. How full this tree looks like. Look at this. At any point, if you feel like this tree is too small, you can always make it bigger. Longer. Okay, so I think I like this. Now I'm gonna add some more other colors here. So the next color I'm gonna use is kind of a little darker color, and for that color I'm gonna mix my black and green together. So black, you just need a little bit black. Okay, so what I did is grab a little glob of green, put it on side of my plate, and just a tiny little black, not too much. Mix. Okay, I think I mixed it and make it more darker, and I don't want too dark. Okay, I think this is better. Okay, so now I'm just gonna repeat the same thing. I'm just gonna go over my tree and add just some branches more darker like that. Something like this. Okay, so now this is all I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna clean my brush and add a little bit of brown on the bottom of the tree. We're gonna add snow later. I'll show you. We need to just let this area dry, maybe just a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little trunk on the bottom, just like that. Okay, so just a little small trunk on the bottom like that. So cute. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean my brush again. Alright, and my background looks nice and dry, so I'm gonna use this kind of little sponge. Now if you don't want to use this, if you don't have this, you can always use your I'm sorry, this round brush, and just create a nice circle. Okay, so let me use just this white. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little white like that, and I'm just gonna use my other plate, and I'm just gonna dab like that to, you know, cover my whole sponge, so that when I add my circle. It's like perfect circle, you know. Okay, all right, so now let's say maybe I want to add a nice big circle, maybe right here. Just press it, hold it. You can also twist. I like to twist it. Ooh, cool. I like this. It's not perfectly white, it's not perfectly, you know, the other color, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some yellow here. Okay, so now I have a circle. I'm just gonna, so first I'm gonna add a little white, maybe here. Okay, I'm not going all the way to the edges, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit of yellow. You can also dab a little bit here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some now, some snow on my tree. So for that, I'm just gonna take a little white, and I'm just kind of placing this white snow on the, actually something like this. I'm just gonna start from top, and I'm gonna repeat this coming down like that. Doesn't have to be a perfectly long line. You can also break those lines like that, and just like, you know, going over my whole tree and adding this type of lines. Sometimes more is better, right? So here's my tree, nice and done. Now on my tree I want to add some lights. So for that I'm gonna use my small brush. Okay, so I'm talking about this one right here, and you can use any color you like. I'm gonna use mostly red, blue, and yellow. So I'm gonna start with the red. Okay, and then I'm just gonna, you know, add a kind of, you know, little dot, a line. Now if you want to let this dry, you can also do that again, because when you go over this wet tree, it will be so much hard for you to apply any other paint. You just have to add a lot of a big glob of paint on top of it, and you just kind of have to work it to add this color. So if you want to avoid that, you can let this dry completely and then add these colors. Okay, but here I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna add some red. Now do you see how I'm adding my color? It's like a big chunk of paint. Okay, I'm just gonna clean my brush, and I'm just gonna do the same thing with yellow. Done. Okay, so now next color I'm going to use is a blue. Okay, and same thing, I'm just gonna add a little dot of blue. And they're so cute. Okay. All right, so now I feel like I have a lot of space on this side, so I'm gonna add a snowman. Okay, so for the snowman, I'm gonna use my middle brush. If you wanna use your small brush, if you're not comfortable using this big brush, you can also do that. All right, so now I'm just gonna use my white paint, and let's say I'm gonna add not too big snowman, you know, like just a little small snowman right here. So I'm just gonna add a little circle for the head, another circle on the bottom for the body, and last one, it's kind of touching my snowman, I mean my snow on the bottom. Okay, and my snowman is in the tree. Okay, now I like this. Now I think I'm gonna use my small brush now for the other details. So I'm gonna use a brown for the branch, for the hand, for the arm I mean. So here I'm just gonna start from a line from here and then going up a line right here. Okay, a little branch and another branch on the other side is coming from this this area. Okay, so now do you see it's like a facing my snowman. I mean my snowman is looking at the tree. Okay, so I am kind of you know, a little sick, so it's hard for me to talk sometime. So I'm also gonna add kind of a eye, so just a little dot of black I'm gonna use for the eyes. Nice little circle. Sometimes it's hard to apply this paint. Okay, alright, so now I'm also gonna add a little smiley dot, so maybe dot here, just adding like a 3 dot. Okay, now I also want to add the outline for this snowman, because my snowman and this snow on the bottom is kind of blending together, so it's hard to see my snowman. So I'm just gonna add a line on the bottom right here. So basically I'm just doing outline. And I'm not too worried about the hat because I'm gonna add a scarf and a hat. Okay, so I'm gonna clean my brush now. Okay, and for the hat, I'm gonna use my red. And just adding a little hat and a little pom-pom on the top. Oh, so cute. I made my hat a little bit bigger than the snowman, and I'm just gonna add a little scarf around the neck like that, and the drape is coming back like that, and the other one is also on the back. That is so cute. Okay, yeah, so this is all I'm gonna do now. Maybe wanna go back on the eyes because like I told you, sometimes it's hard to add the colors on top of the wet paint. So I didn't realize here that I forget to add a carrot nose, so you can use orange color and add a nice little tiny carrot nose there. That looks good. Okay, and then just a little circle, just a little black on my snowman. Now instead of using your black paint, you can let this dry completely, and you can do this black part with a Sharpie. Okay, so yeah, this is all I'm gonna do. Now one last thing I'm gonna do is adding a nice big star on our tree. Okay, so for that I'm gonna use my yellow paint. Okay, so just gonna add I'm gonna show you like very simple start how to do this. So I'm just gonna take a little yellow. Okay, and then let me show you on a piece of paper first. And I'm gonna use let's say maybe red color. Okay, so first I'm gonna add a plus sign like this, and then a X. So this X is slightly little smaller than the plus. So here's my star. This is what I'm gonna do. Okay, let me clean my brush. So I use red so you guys can see it, because hard to see on yellow sometimes. So I'm just gonna use my yellow, and I'm just gonna add a plus. Like that. And then a nice small little X. Okay, I like that. Now I'm just gonna add some dot on the plus sign. Okay. Alright, so yeah, here I'm all done. Make sure you sign your painting always, right? So you can use any color you want to, or you can also use a Sharpie, a marker. Alright, so yeah, here we are all done with this painting. Now let me know what you think about this painting. I hope you guys have fun painting with me, and if you do, make sure you give a big thumbs up. Alright, take care, bye, and I'll see you next time for another painting or any other DIY. Alright, take care, bye.